Hey everyone, I'm Amanda Balionis here for another yoga session. I don't even know if I would call us beginners anymore because we are over 2 months into this series. So for those who don't know me, I'm a proud Stifel ambassador as well as an announcer for CBS Sports on golf and football. But for our purposes, I'm a 200-hour yoga certified teacher in the Baptiste style. So if you're just joining us for the first time, please go back to the very beginning of this series because we do build every single week to build a safe and strong foundation for this practice. But for those of you that are all caught up, let's roll out your mat or find a carpeted area, and we're gonna get started in a seated position. So close your eyes, whatever seated comfortable position that you're finding yourself in. Maybe you're sitting crisscross applesauce, maybe you're letting the wall support you, or maybe you're sitting with your legs together and sitting back on your heels. But wherever you are, close your eyes and just start to breathe. Deep inhales and exhales. And if you're in the middle of your work day, it can be hard to quiet your mind right now, but this is really when you can learn that you control your mind. Don't let your mind control you. Don't let stress run you, even though that is a really natural, easy tendency. This is why we take the time to reset everything and really come in to connect with our bodies and our minds. If you don't take the time to do this, we can get really overloaded with anxiety. So acknowledge where you are right now, maybe what you're thinking about that doesn't serve you. And on your next inhale, think let. And on your next exhale, think go. And just focus your mind on those two words and nothing else to bring yourself into the present moment. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. One more time, deep inhale, let. And exhale, go. Now you can keep your eyes closed here, or you can softly open them and set a gaze at a point in front of you that's not moving, your drishti. But when you're ready, place your right hand next to you, maybe out a little bit more. You can either have your arms straight or bent, and then reach your left arm over to the right side of the room. Deep inhales here, really feel a good deep stretch in that left side, almost like you're feeling your lungs inhale and exhale and your left side expand like an accordion. One more deep inhale, let, exhale, go, come back to center. And then on your next inhale, place your left hand on your side, to your side, wherever it feels comfortable. Reach out a little bit if you want to get a little bit of a deeper stretch. And then reach your right arm to the left side of the room. Again, feeling that accordion stretch, picturing your lungs expanding as you breathe. Inhale, let, exhale, go. At the bottom of your next exhale, we're gonna meet back in center once again, and then come to your hands and knees, a tabletop position, and press yourself back down into child's pose. So child's pose, you wanna bring your knees to the outer edges of your mat with your feet to touch. Your forehead is on your mat and your arms are stretched forward towards the front of the room. Every time you inhale, maybe you reach forward a little bit more, and as you exhale, you let your hips sink a little bit more towards your heels. On your next inhale, you're gonna thread your right arm underneath your left armpit. So get a really good shoulder stretch here. You can take your right cheek to the mat and just let this feel good. If you wanna get a little bit of a deeper stretch, if you feel like you can take this deeper, just straighten that back right leg towards the back of your mat. That should get even more into that right shoulder opener. One more deep inhale here. And then exhale, come back to center, child's pose. And on your next inhale, reach your left arm, threading it underneath your right, taking your left cheek down to your mat, and doing the same thing here. Maybe witnessing how different your right shoulder feels to your left. Maybe you need more of an opener here, and that's okay. Straighten your left leg towards the back of the room so you come more onto that left shoulder. Or maybe you don't need that, and that's okay too. Just stay here. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. Come back to center, child's pose. On your next inhale, rise back up into your tabletop position, stacking your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees, and we're gonna do a couple of cat-cows here. So exhale, and then on your next inhale, drop your belly down towards your mat as you take your gaze all the way up for cow pose. And move here however you need to. For me, it feels good to shake my hips left and right, to maybe move my neck left and right. Just listen to your body and where it wants you to really breathe into. And then exhale, press your back towards the ceiling as you come into that angry cat pose, taking your gaze in between your legs. And again, do what feels good. For me, it's rolling back and forth. I can really feel that all the way up and down my back. But do what you need to do here. And we'll do one more cat-cow to your breath. So on your next inhale, come to your cow pose, move how you need to. And on your next exhale, come to your angry cat, do what you need to do. And then at the bottom of that breath, you're going to come to a neutral tabletop position. On your next inhale, press yourself back into downward facing dog. So your hands are shoulder width distance apart, your feet are hip width distance apart or wider. And if you have tight hamstrings, simply bend your knees as much as you need to make this pose accessible. Start to pedal out your feet a little bit, feeling that stretch into your calves. I'm on the road right now and not allowed to go to any gyms or anything like that. So I've been doing a lot of running outside and I can feel that difference in my body. My calves are tighter, my hips are tighter. So just witness what your body's trying to tell you and give it what it needs. One more deep inhale here as you kind of play with what feels good and what feels tight. And then at the bottom of your next exhale, come to stillness and downward facing dog. Your gaze again should be in between your legs. If you can see your heels, hide them behind your ankles. On your next inhale, look to the front of your mat, step your left foot behind your left wrist, your right foot behind your right wrist, come to a forward fold, clasp opposite elbows, ragdoll. So ragdoll, your gaze is in between your legs. Once again, there should be absolutely no tension in your neck. Maybe you nod your head yes, shake it no, but then we always want to end with a yes. If your shoulders are tight, clasp your hands behind your back and slowly start to fold them over towards your head. Again, this is just going to keep coming up. Pay attention to what your body needs and give your body and your mind the permission to do that. Even if it's not what you think it should look like, even if it's not what I look like I'm doing, that's okay. I take so many yoga classes where the teacher is calling for something and my body wants something different, so I just go there. I'm simply your guide. So you go wherever you feel like you need to go during this practice. This time is specifically for you. On your next exhale, release your hands wherever they are, toe heel your feet together, and one vertebrae at a time, rise all the way up into Tadasana. So Tadasana, there's a slight space in between your heels, or if it feels more comfortable, your feet can be at hip width distance apart. You want to reach your arms strong and straight towards the ceiling, take your gaze in between your hands, and really pull your shoulder blades in and down your back. You also want to make sure you're creating a neutral spine here. So tuck the front of your pelvis as your tailbone descends. And what does that mean? It just means that if you feel like you have a curvature in your spine, tuck your booty underneath you so it takes any pressure out of your lower back. One more deep inhale here and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift to your flat back, and exhale, plant your hands as you step back. Inhale to high plank. Exhale to low plank. So low plank, you can drop your knees or hover your entire body over your mat. Inhale, upward facing dog or baby cobra, and then downward facing dog as you exhale. By now, you should know your difference between baby cobra and upward facing dog. So just as a reminder, upward facing dog, to do it safely, you need to press your entire body up off your mat with straight arms and your hands are at your lower rib cage. If you cannot do that, simply come to that baby cobra. One more deep inhale here, exhale, let it go. And when you're ready, look to the front of your mat and step or hop there. Inhale, halfway lift to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up into Tadasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift to a flat back, and when you're ready, plant your hands and step back into your high plank. Inhale, high plank. Exhale to low. Inhale, upward facing dog or baby cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, look to the front of your mat, step or hop there. And when you're ready, with your feet together, bend deeply into your legs and rise up into chair pose, Utkatasana. So Utkatasana, what we talked about in Tadasana, mountain pose, about keeping a neutral spine, that's really important here. You do not want your booty sticking out. That's really bad for your lower back. You want to tuck the front of your pelvis as your tailbone descends, okay? So really think about those words and focus on adjusting yourself so that there's no curvature in that lower back. Your knees are strong and straight and in line with one another as you bend deeply and feel the strength of your thighs together, okay? Really think about the weight that you're dispersing into all four corners of your feet. Be strong and straight. One more deep inhale here, and then exhale, forward fold. Stay in your forward fold. Bring your feet out to hip width distance apart and come back into your rag doll. Maybe you sway back and forth. Maybe you shake out your legs. Just give yourself a little breath here. A little chance to rest, not quit. And when you're ready, release your hands from whatever bind you have, toe heel your feet together, and come back into your chair pose. So in this chair pose, maybe you bend a little bit deeper here and challenge yourself, or maybe you were challenging yourself too much and your body's asking for a rest, and maybe you take it back a little bit. But wherever you are, on your next inhale, bring your hands to heart center, and then we're gonna twist to our right. So bring that left elbow to the outside of your right thigh, or if you want to do a modification of this, simply keep your knees square to the front of the room as you twist back, your right arm reaching towards the back of the room, your left arm reaching towards the front. You can take your gaze with you towards that back right hand. But wherever you are, this is a detoxifying twist. And when we say detoxifying, yes, absolutely, it can help you with the stuff that you're not supposed to be putting into your body. If you had a couple too many glasses of wine, maybe, whatever it is, but it also helps you de-stress. It helps you really detox from those emotions that are not good for us that we're holding in our bodies. One more deep inhale here, no matter where you're twisting. Exhale, forward fold once again. And we're gonna try something new today. So again, toe heel your feet out to hip width distance apart. Take your peace fingers, right? So your pointer finger and your middle finger, peace fingers, and wrap them around your big toes. So you want to wrap them from the inside of your big toe towards the outside. And sometimes we have a tendency to put our thumb on the ground to help ground us. Don't do that. Lift your thumbs up. Deep inhale here, halfway lift to a flat back. And on your next exhale, pull yourself even more forward than you have before. This is a great hamstring stretch, a great release in your lower back. But wherever you are, just start to really feel yourself pulling yourself closer, bending your knees as much as you need to. One more deep inhale with this bind, with your peace fingers around your big toes. Exhale, pull yourself forward even more. And then when you're ready, release your bind, toe heel your feet together, and come back up into your chair pose. One more deep inhale here. And on your next exhale, hands to heart center, and we have to even ourselves out, right? So take your right elbow to the outside of your left thigh, keeping your knees in line with one another. Or if you want a modification, you can remain upright in your chair pose and simply reach in opposite directions. So your right arm goes towards the front of the room, your left arm reaches towards the back of the room, and you can take your gaze towards that back left arm. Deep inhales here. Every time you inhale, maybe you reach a little bit more, and then exhale, you twist a little bit more to your fullest extension, just feeling how good it feels to detox your body and twist whatever needs to get out. One more deep inhale here, twist all the way. And then when you're ready, release and come to a forward fold. On your next inhale, reach all the way up into Tadasana. This should feel good on your legs that we've been working really hard. And then when you're ready, we're gonna come to a tree pose. So ground your left leg strong and straight, and then take your right leg. You have 3 different options here. So you can do kickstand, which means your right toes are on the inside or on the ground, and then your heel is on the inside of your left calf. Or you can take your foot up onto your calf completely, or bring it all the way up into the inside of your left thigh. Sometimes our balance is a little off, and that's okay. Do what you need to do here today. Bring your hands to heart center, or maybe you start to grow your tree and reach up, or maybe you take reverse prayer hands if you want to still work on that shoulder opener. So I just heard a couple pops when I did that. I guess that's what I need. Stay here for a couple of breaths. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. Inhale, let. And exhale, go. At the bottom of your next exhale, come back to center, release that right leg, and then we're going to do the same thing on the left side. So take whatever variation feels good for you, and then feel how different this is. There are some days I can balance on my right leg forever and can't for the life of me do it on my left side. And you know what that means? It means absolutely nothing. So if you find yourself getting frustrated or having expectations for yourself here, drop all of that stuff and just be accepting of where you are right now. Maybe you're kicking butt. Smile and enjoy that moment. Deep inhale, let. Exhale, go. One more deep inhale. And exhale, let it go. Bring your hands down towards your sides with your palms facing forward. Your feet are together. You're in your mountain pose. Bring your hands to heart center. Close your eyes. Thank yourself for making the time for yourself to connect your mind to your body and your breath, and to taking a much needed break that we all need in these stressful times right now. We'll see you next time. Namaste.